Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Hagir Show. Today is April 1st, not April Fool's, but today is the first day of, or recognized as the Autism Awareness Month. But here as the Hagir Network, every day, and especially every Monday, is Autism Awareness. We will try to bring on guests, specialists, or people who are making a difference in the families or the children with autism's life. Today, I am honored to have Alison, Ashley, and Lauren with Living Unlimited with us. So, without further ado, ladies, I am so honored to have you with me. Can we start by introducing who you are and what you do?
Alison, why don't you start?
Sure. So my name is Alison McClure. I am the regional manager here in our Harrisburg office at Living Unlimited. I work with our staff to help any individual that comes to us for services to find employment in their communities and to be successful in their employment related goals.
I am Lauren Rao. I'm the music therapy director here. I received my degree from Elizabethtown College, and my internship was in North Carolina at a medical center. And then I came to work here as a music therapist, and then worked up into now I'm serving as the director and part of the leadership team. So I really am passionate about making sure that music therapy services are accessible to individuals, kind of as much as possible across the state of Pennsylvania, and making sure that people understand what music therapy services are and how they can access them. So, yeah.
And I'm Ashley Housen. I'm the music therapy manager here at Living Unlimited. I also went to Elizabethtown College for my bachelor's degree in music therapy, had my internship out in Arizona at a medical facility, and now I've been here. I worked as a full-time music therapist. I was also briefly a shared staff, both with the vocational services and music therapy. And then was promoted into music therapy manager position. I work a lot with our staff and our team to ensure that they are receiving individuals who need the service and that they're providing our goal-oriented service of music therapy.
Amazing. I had the honor and the privilege to know Allison for many years now, right? And when Kareem was diagnosed with autism, I reached out to Allison, and she was an amazing support for me. And she introduced me to Living Unlimited. Although, unfortunately, I wasn't able to use their services, but the response that I got, the willingness, the way that they treated me, even they didn't know me, it made me feel at ease. And I didn't know those services exist. So let's start by talking about the service that you guys provide. Is it just directed towards autism or any kids or children with special needs, the age group? And what is music therapy? That's a big question.
We start from a young age and then
I think
work our
that's a
way
really
through.
good idea. Yeah.
So our team in the music therapy department can start out with kids even in early intervention. So in the state of PA, that's those birth to 3 services, when a child is identified as having some sort of developmental delay. Sometimes
Uh-huh.
that does mean autism and an autism diagnosis, but sometimes it means a medical complexity or just slight delays that they catch up and they no longer need the services. So it kind of looks varied. From there, we can go into working through medical assistance, and that's a lot of times with kids with a behavioral health diagnosis, such as autism or ADD, ADHD, trauma backgrounds. It can be kind of a variety again, and that's up until the age of 21. And this is where we start to see some crossover. Now for music therapy, we can work all the way up through older adults with memory care needs, intellectual disability, autism, mental health needs, and that's going to look different, but autism is a pretty predominant diagnosis that we do serve. But then again, I talked about the crossover. So a lot of times we'll have kiddos that are aging through services and they're entering that
Yeah.
transition age. And then sometimes we get to share clients and work with the vocational side and the services that they can provide.
Right. And on our vocational side of things, we work with individuals pretty much from that transition age all the way up through older adulthood. If someone is interested in finding employment services, we are able to provide them those services and that support to find employment in their community and to be productive members of their communities. I keep saying community.
Yes, that's why we're here.
Exactly. But we work with a variety of different disabilities as well. We work with autism, but we also work with our head injury program, which is a main part of what Living Unlimited was founded on, was our head injury work. Additionally, we work with intellectual disabilities, physical disabilities, private pay individuals that may have, a need for additional support on the job or to maintain employment services. So
amazing. So this is a whole round services. So it basically help and then you guide them through their journey until they're 21 or over, right? But what is the music therapy? Let's just start by that. A lot of people don't know what is the importance of music therapy. And before you answer this, I'm just going to share my personal experience. When Kareem was 4 months old, he had malrotation. So he ended up in the hospital where he had to go an extensive surgery. And they fixed his intestine. It was twisted. He wasn't able to eat and all of that. And during that time, even as a 4 months old, he was sad. I was sad. We were at the hospital for almost a year. I mean, in and out. During that time, I noticed that anytime they have music therapy, they come to the room at the hospital and they just play. And he was sitting. This is the most calm, like I seen him. And it just made them a little bit happy smile. So to me, music therapy, everybody love music. I hope so. But for someone who is in need and sick, it is calming. It has a calming mechanism to it. And it's also making you happy or just helping. So what is music therapy? And how is it helping our kiddos?
You want to take it?
Sure. So a lot of times I get to talk to initial family requests and phone calls when it comes to referrals. So a lot of times when people are calling to inquire about music therapy, you might be talking to me at Living Unlimited. A lot of times the easiest way for me to explain it in a short form would be that music is our medium as a way to address non-music and sometimes music goals. So for a lot of the individuals that we serve, knowing that right now we see, especially in our music therapy department, the individuals that have behavioral health diagnoses, we might be working more towards attention and focus. We might be working more towards emotional expression, coping strategies. So music, we know, and research has shown us that it's very predictable. It can be familiar. But also it comes down to personal preference. So our music therapists are all board certified here on our team. We are taught to go based off of preference of the client. And that is what makes music therapy really effective, is when you use preferred music in conjunction with music intervention that has been implemented by a board certified music therapist, you're getting the maximum benefit of what music can provide, no matter what the goal area might be. So again, kind of coming back and rounding out that basic sentence and phrase that I use with families to make it the most accessible is that music is our way to address the non-music and music goals.
Perfect. And we all know that music is a universal language. So it doesn't matter if you know English, if you know Arabic, if you know Spanish. It doesn't matter what your language or your culture background. It's just a taste of what kind of music that you like. But again, you said something really important for kids with autism, especially the attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or ADHD. Sometimes it's another diagnosis that our kiddos have, and Kareem definitely had that. But with helping them to calm down and focus, I want you to speak more on this area, and especially that a lot of our kids are nonverbal for a while. Like they could be 5 or 6 years. It depends. Some of them are nonverbal, and they get frustrated. So, what are the tips? What are the things that a child with ADHD or autism specifically can benefit from this? How we can guide them. I know when I asked to switch them to Living Unlimited to get the music, they told me that I have to choose either lose occupational therapy and get the music. Yeah, like I can't have both. One of the things that I'm fighting to get rid of. So they can have both. Why not? Like it could benefit. So what would be something that I can take to policymakers, for example, or insurance company and say, you know what? My kid need occupational therapy. Why do I have to compromise? This will help them. Music will help, right? So my question made sense, or you want me to like clarify more?
There's a lot of layers to your question, and you make me think about a lot of different things. But first, music therapy is different than occupational therapy, and occupational therapy is different than music therapy. We are not speech therapists. We're not PTs. We're not OTs. All of us have our way of doing things, our medium, so to say. So music is ours. Yes. Oftentimes what happens is music accesses different parts of the brain differently. It's also, I joke, I call it like the sneaky backdoor therapy, because a lot of times, kids and adults, they think they're having fun or they're making music because it works on that pleasure sensor of the brain, right? So we're enjoying what we're doing, but the music therapist, being board certified, knows that they can use this to work on something, right? So we might be working on similar goals, because a team should be a team and should be working for the best of each child or individual that we're supporting. But also the state doesn't always see music therapy as a service that they get behind. We're very lucky, I have to say, in the state of PA. There's managed care organizations that support us. There are the state, through adult waiver services, supports music therapy. That's fantastic. But there's still a lot more to be understood, because it does look like fun. It does look like we're playing songs or playing instruments or singing, but in reality, that therapist is thinking about so many things and tracking data on so many things to make sure that kiddo is progressing in their treatment plan. Because we also assess the people that we work with and determine, right, this is where they're at now. So when you were speaking about the ADHD and like the focus and attention and kind of developing those skills, we have to know where we started, and then we have to make a plan for where we want to go and the steps that are going to get us there. So it might look like the kiddo sitting with their favorite song at the piano for 30 seconds, because that's what they can do. But we know in 6 months, it might be 1 minute or 2 minutes. They might need less prompts. So we can see that and hopefully generalize it to other opportunities in places like OT, PT, speech, where they can be more successful in their community. Community is important. So does that?
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Because a lot of people don't understand that when your child is diagnosed with any different abilities, such as autism or mental delay or anything, they will have something called IEP, individual educational plan. And that will also something that you guys will do. Like when you send your child for music therapy with Living Unlimited, they will be able to learn from you the same thing they did with me, and I kind of tested that. They ask question about Kareem, about his level of understanding, so they can get a better idea on how they can help him. So as a parent, you'll be helping them getting to know your child so they can help you and your child. Knowing that, for example, when he listened to music, he calmed down, then maybe it will improve his focus. Maybe a lot of kids that like to play drums. So it's movement, it is music, and like you said, it target that area in your brain with where giving you pleasure. and it's also something that could help him identify if he like music, or if there's something that they might learn an instrument wise. So with Living Unlimited, what other, like, how people can reach out to you, and what other services do you do? Services in home or clinics or at your location?
Great question. So it's going to look like a variety, because a lot of things are regulations from the outside. So I talked about having support from different state entities and managed care organizations. Sometimes they dictate where our services can be provided and how. But to start, you can really just call us, and we will walk you through the process, talk about you, get to know your specific needs, and then kind of start to point you in a direction, so we can work together to make sure that those services can continue. So we do have, I don't know if it's best to share, we have a website. You can search Music Therapy Harrisburg, PA. You can search Living Unlimited Music Therapy. You'll find us on the internet. Our phone number is available. I just know the 717-526-2111 number.
Perfect.
Always
And
call.
we will put all of that down in the comment too.
Perfect. We have, reach out to us. Even if you just have questions, I always say we want to help people no matter what. Even if it doesn't mean we access our services, maybe we can recommend other options as well. Because we're really lucky here in the Harrisburg area. We have a lot of things that and resources that we can access. But as for there was another part of your question that was kind of like refresh me. What was the other part of the question? Oh, sorry.
Other services.
Other services. It's a Monday.
I know.
And
the first of the month too.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. So we have music therapy, obviously. We also have something called life music. So that's something that is different. It's not goal oriented. It's more like if somebody wants to learn an instrument or engage in music making for fun, that is not goal oriented. So it is really just for fun. We provide those services as well. And, you know, that can be any age, any ability. So those are kind of under the music therapy umbrella. And you can kind of reach out to us and ask questions, and we'll guide you in that. As for sites, that was the other thing that I was thinking of. So we have our office here in Harrisburg, that we have some clinic space. We also rent space in Carlisle, Anvil, Lancaster, York, Selinsgrove, and then we have another office in Williamsport. So those are the areas in Pennsylvania that we can kind of have people come to us, but then we do meet with people in the community depending on all of those outside sources.
Amazing. And hopefully people here can reach out, can help you expand more, because this is an amazing service and it is going to benefit your child if it's not going to hurt them. So try it. Don't dismiss anything until you try. That's the one thing that I want everyone to know. And we're going to provide a lot of resources and help. And April 27, we have Kareem's mission. Kareem is my son. Everybody knows I posted the event, but I'm inviting all of you, including you guys, to be there to provide resources. So anyone that wanted to read, it is going to be a launching party here at the Capitol Blue Cross in Enola. That event is basically launching the Kareem's mission. It's a nonprofit. All we do is we're going to have a website, videos. We have a Facebook. We have therapists that are going to provide free consultation. Everything is going to be free, and connecting you to resources such as Living Unlimited, so you can reach out to them, have them work with you to get the services, or any other provider there. And you ladies are more than welcome to either come and join us on the 27th from 1 to 4, or to put like your information there, make it available, or we can just shout your name and put flyers. But if you can come, that would be amazing. You said there is something else beside the autism and beside the kids. You said you work with them to make them more or make them able to participate to their fullest potential in the community. How is that? Like, what is that and how does it work and how people can reach out?
Sure. So the other side of our agency is the vocational side of things. We work with our individuals who are referred to us by different funding sources. So OVR, the Office of Developmental Programs, the Autism Waiver, Bureau of Autism Services. It is a Monday. I'm failing words. The Bureau of Autism Services, the Head Injury Program. Different referral sources will send us the information on individuals that would like services. We take that information, we identify what their goals are. Some goals are finding employment in their community so that they can, make some money and feel like they're contributing. Some of our individuals might have suffered a traumatic brain injury and they are interested in regaining some of those skills that they lost as a result of that brain injury. All of those individuals come to us. We have a holistic approach. We identify what they are interested in working on. And then based on what OVR and ODP says we can and can't do, because there's always expectations and limitations on providing agencies like Living Unlimited is, we will work with that individual to meet those goals or towards those goals. Some things that we do are the home and community aspect of the head injury program, which is going into the community, helping them maybe grocery shop or setting up reminders to take their medications on time. Recently, we are so excited that music therapy has also been added to the head injury program. Yes, it is amazing. And we've heard nothing but positivity from our individuals who have been able to benefit from those services as well. When it comes to our vocational side of things, we'll work on things like assessments to identify what type of employment they are most interested in and most compatible with. Because not everybody who is good at something wants to necessarly do it. I'm pretty decent at math, but I don't like math. So I'm not to do math without a calculator. So I wouldn't expect anyone else to do the same thing. And we'll work with those individuals. We'll help them find employment. We'll work with them to maintain employment, to learn their job. And once they're successful and we can fade, we fade and we celebrate the fact that they are now independent on the job and they no longer need a job coach. I mean, how wonderful is it to have someone come to us to say, I don't know how to start. And then for us to be the sad, we don't want to leave you because we've loved working with you. And your success is so amazing to us.
But to say that, like, there are individuals that I know in our community because of working here that I've had the opportunity to go to my local grocery store or go to different, entities in our community. And I see those people working and successful. And I get to like maybe say hi if they know me. But like we saw them as kids in music therapy. And then I know they had services through our vocational program. And they're engaging in their community in such a rich way. And like, that's just super special to see.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't think there is anything more rewarding than that. Like, I helped with this. We did that. And you, all three of you are amazing, honestly. Alison is a good person and I know you as a friend, and I got to talk to Ashley and Lauren as well via emails. But those are services that most of you might not be aware of. So please reach out. Even if you didn't hear something today, or you thought maybe, you heard something and you want to clarify, reach out, send them an email. They do respond. And Paul, we're going to put the information and see how they can help you, because it's not just the children and the music therapy. But like you heard, they go all the way to making sure that the kiddos or the young adults are able to do the best that they can survive and flourish in this world. And that's not, I don't think there's anything more novel than that, to do what you love to do and do it and help others. This is something a lot of people here ask us on Wednesday, because we do the Business Wednesday and people want to change their career, or they will say, well, I do this, but I don't know how I can use that. There you go. Those ladies are amazing. They use their talent and their knowledge so they can make something that was not there. and make it to help and provide an income. So it's a business, it's a nonprofit, it fits everything. So I'm truly, I don't know what else to say, but I want to thank all three of you for giving me the time. I know you guys are busy, but we want people to know that you are here, the resources are there. And before we go, I just want to do some fun questions with you guys. What got you to do this? Like, what got you to do this and be the amazing super women you are?
I mean, I could start. So I
Yeah.
started out, I knew I wanted to work with people. I initially went to school for education and realized that I do not have the patience for little kids, long day.
Here,
So
here.
I became a teacher. So I looked into it further and identified that working with people was still something I wanted. Went to school for social work at Harrisburg Area Community College. Graduated. Yeah. Graduated and then started working at the United Methodist Home for Children. There again, teenagers, they're a lot. Teenagers are wonderful. I love my kids from the home. And a friend told me about Living Unlimited. And that friend is actually a supervisor at Cumberland Perry MHIDD. And they were like, come and work for Living Unlimited. So that is how I got here. So education to social work. And that's me. So
Perfect. Lauren?
I knew I wanted to do something with music, but not quite sure what when I was in high school. And I also wanted to work with people and help people. And I wasn't really like education was kind of in the background, and I just wasn't sure that's where I wanted to go with my life. And a friend who volunteers in the hospital doing music, is a music minister, introduced me to the idea of music therapy. And that kind of was my rabbit hole in research and understanding what the requirements would be. And that kind of led me to my education and then looking for a job in the Harrisburg area. And here was Living Unlimited. And it was an opportunity to work with other music therapists, which is also amazing. So yeah, that's what led me here.
Minded. Yep, like-minded. How about you, Ashley?
So I'll be honest, I think in high school, I had done a lot of reflecting on, similar to Lauren, I knew I wanted something in music, but I also wanted to help people. And I wasn't quite sure how those two things could align. I've always dabbled a lot in music, meaning multiple instruments. I didn't always feel like I was polished in one area. And then when I learned that music therapy existed, I became very interested because I am from Harrisburg originally growing up. So I knew about Hershey Medical Center's team. I was able to go and shadow there in high school. I was aware of Elizabethtown College having a really phenomenal music therapy program. But then honestly, reflecting in high school, there were more sentimental roots of realizing I had a lot of music moments that I didn't realize were pushing me in this direction until I was already in college. I had experienced a lot of family loss early in my life. And there were just a lot of moments of just being able to play the piano as like an 8-year-old in a hospital. And then an hour later, my grandparent had passed away. So just sentimental moments of where music was kind of my last connecting point with people that were really important, and how I could use music. And that kind of became my why and transpired that way during my internship of being able to use music as a connection point. And I also already knew about Living Unlimited through Elizabethtown College. So I feel very fortunate in that I grew up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So I already had the resources at my fingertips. It was just a matter of using them and exploring the opportunity.
Amazing, amazing. The common denominator, helping people, using your talent and knowledge and finding the why and then do it. And this is beautiful. So misconception, working with kids with a special need and doing what you do. What is one misconception that you want the community to know, or just something that you want to raise awareness about, you think we're lacking? Start with you, Alison.
Sure. So we work with the transition age through adulthood. And one of the biggest misconceptions that we get is that an individual with a disability cannot do something. They can't work.
Yeah.
They're not capable. Oh, we go into the employer and they'll say, oh, what's their disability? And we can't disclose that. That's a violation of a lot of rights.
Yeah.
But the second thing is a disability doesn't say a person can or cannot do something. It is instead an opportunity for us to make reasonable accommodations for that individual so that they can do it and exceed. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I know that there's a study out there that says that the percentage of the individuals who have disabilities who are consistent, don't call off work, that put in the effort, that pick up extra shifts, that understand what they're supposed to do, is typically higher than what you would consider an able-bodied person.
Yeah.
When you consider those things, why would employers not want to hire someone who has a disability? They're going to be consistent. They're going to show up. They're going to have the support that is needed when there's issues on the job. So our individuals are just as amazing as anybody else. And it doesn't matter if they have a disability or not. I would back any one of my individuals any day.
Different abilities.
Different
right?
abilities. Yes.
Just find the key. Lauren,
Oh, I have so many.
go for it.
So I think a lot of things that we say here, we hear the diagnosis of autism and people just want to throw this blanket over and say that it might look the same, or there's a lot of similar characteristics, and there are, but each person is such a unique individual, and it is amazing to see that, because we see it, we get very fortunately, we get to see that because it's the music that they enjoy playing or participating in. And like, we get to see this glimpse of this individual in just such a really cool way, making music together. So I would say that's something that we say as a team very often. You meet one individual with autism, you've met one person with autism. Everyone is unique and different and has special abilities, and we all have challenges. I mean, all of us. So we just get to see that really beautifully here. And there's all sorts of misconceptions about music and music therapy and what it is. But that could be a whole other podcast.
Hey, we're here every Monday, anytime, hop on and we can talk, because part of what we do is raising awareness. And, even before Kareem was diagnosed with autism, I've done this since 2013. So we can have a community that understand and treat people based on what they give out, not based on their color, their religion, ethnicity, or what you think of them or their abilities. We are all different and we are unique on our own way. You just gotta find what this person can do. What help my son could need a little bit extra help than your son, and that's okay. That doesn't make him not smart enough or not good enough. It just make him his own personality. And so we're gonna have to do this because there is still a lot of hate, a lot of bullying, and that's part of why I hammer on this all the time, and I'm sure why you do what you do, because you've seen the injustice. You've seen a lot of kids with a special need who are being mistreated or bullied, or a lot of people that commit suicide. There is a statistic that it makes your skin like really crawl when you see the number of kids who commit suicide, who chose to end their life because we're not making it comfortable enough for them to stay or thrive. So that's part of what we do. Any Monday, jump on here and we will lucky and love to have you. Lauren, last but not least.
I'm passing it to Ashley.
I agree with you, Lauren, about what you were about to go into, that there's lots of misconceptions about music therapy. That actually got me thinking a little bit more toward a big misconception I think happens right at the initial phone call is that every therapist or specialist fits all. And I think too, talking to a lot of families and parents has really humbled me in a way that while we have the credentials of board certified music therapist, that's really wonderful. And we are maybe the experts in the music intervention we can provide. The parent is the expert of the child. And I think that's a huge misconception that ends up coming into human health services, really any service, is reminding the parent that, like, if there is something you don't feel is working in your service, or if there is something that you don't feel is working for your child, that you are the expert of your child, and it is okay to talk to your therapist about it. While they're the expert of their field, you are the expert of your child. That's just something that I've seen come up a lot.
Actually, that's something we do, and you know this from our intake. Even we share that with all of our families and parents, that if at any point you feel like the individual services that you're getting are not, cohesive, or that you're not getting along with the support person that you have, you just have to talk to us. We'll find a way to rearrange things and find someone who will mesh with your individual, with your child, with your brother, with your sister, with your mother, whomever it is that we're supporting. We'll find a way.
Yeah. There's a lot of misconceptions, and like I said, you guys are more than welcome. You let us know when you can come, but this is just an introduction for Living Unlimited. I know we had them before, but I really hope everyone that is listening to us right now will go on their website. We are going to have their website. We're going to have any way to connect with them, their phone, any social media. Follow them, reach out, and see if they can help your son or daughter, or even your adult. And you don't have to have a child with a special need. I mean, music is therapy for everyone. If your child is depressed, and I'm sure, look, I can be your spokesperson, right? Yeah. If someone is depressed, like you don't have to have a diagnosis, right? So just before we end this, if you can give us, like, anyone can join you, right?
You need to have a need, obviously. Anytime you're coming to a therapeutic service, there's a need you want to accomplish, right? And a treatment plan would be developed. That might not be.
Do they have to have an actual diagnosis, or if someone, say, struggling with depression or is struggling with undiagnosed ADHD, do they have to have a diagnosis to reach out? I think this is very important. Yeah.
We would have to work with them a little bit on how it would be able to be accessed.
Okay.
That's not to say that it couldn't work. So I would always say, let's problem solve. I think that's something that we're really good at, trying to figure out what's going to work for somebody, and at least giving them options. And if we're not the right option, finding something that is. So I would encourage somebody that if they had something they were struggling with and thought music therapy might be a good way to support that need, reach out.
Perfect. Any last words or anything that you think I did not mention or ask you want to share? You can share that before we finish. And this is not going to be the end. You're going to see those beautiful ladies again.
I think one big thing that we could say is that Living Unlimited is not just in the Harrisburg area. We are also in our Moosic area and our Williamsport. And Shay's region now.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we now have a fourth region, and I don't remember where she is
It's
located.
Like the Clearfield,
yeah.
Boys area, which is really, I mean, they're out in the boonies, but they are really individuals out there. So we're super excited about that growth.
Absolutely. And if we're not in your area, still reach out, because we're ever growing, we're ever expanding, we're always finding ways to provide that access to these services in different areas. So even if it's not us, we can see how we can support you to find those services somewhere in your area. So, but please reach out. We'd love to. Anyone.
Last words. I think just encouraging families to continue to do the great advocacy that they are doing for their kids. I see it more and more and more, and I'm just so impressed with families walking that walk. So keep it up.
Perfect.
I mean,
no last word.
I think Alison and Lauren summed it up pretty well. But just don't be afraid to reach out and just make a phone call. I think, Lauren, you said it really nice, of just, we're here to problem solve too, even if it ends in not with Living Unlimited, just to have a phone call and talk about resources.
And they will provide resources and friendly and amazing. And don't get my word for it, because I can talk beautiful, sentence about them all day long. But anyway, all we're trying to do is for all of you to know the resources around you, learn, teach yourself. If you cannot go and search, ask someone, whether that being to help your son, daughter, or just to know how you can, help someone in your community. As always, be the change that you want to see in the world. Thank you, ladies. Thank you to Living Unlimited, Alison, Lauren, and Ashley. Thank you. And I really hope we can see you on April 27, and we can see you before that on the show. And for all of you, if you have any questions and you don't know how to reach out, you can reach us here and we will connect you. But we will provide all the information, and I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.